And we start this afternoon with breaking news. Police have the Target store at Mall 205 blocked off. So you can see crime tape and officers here at the door. Police responded to a call about a disturbance with a weapon at around 10:30 this morning. We're still waiting for more information about this from Portland Police. In the meantime, we do have a crew at the scene who told us all the Target employees are out there in the parking lot. We'll update the story for you as soon as we learn more. Thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Carney, and our top story here at noon involves the man charged with stabbing multiple people at the Union Gospel Mission in Salem. He was back in court today. The attorney for Tony Williams filed a motion this morning arguing that Williams is not fit to proceed and he should be transported to the Oregon State Hospital. Just a few days ago, a doctor shared a psychological evaluation with the court, but that report remains confidential. The stabbing happened back on June 1st at a men's shelter in Salem that left 12 people injured. Williams remains in custody without bail. He's due back in court a week from today. The Burdoin fire, meanwhile, continues to burn on the Washington side of the gorge, moving north and northeast between the towns of Bingen and Lisle. In an update just a few hours ago, firefighters said they're relying on aircraft, including helicopters, to support crews on the ground. People in the area might notice planes scooping water from the Columbia River. This fire has burned nearly 11,000 acres since it was first spotted last Friday afternoon, already destroying 14 homes and damaging 37 others. Over the weekend, we paid a visit to one of the Red Cross shelters available to evacuees. One woman told us that evacuation orders jumped from level 1 all the way up to level 3 go now with almost no warning.
We had no time. I had some stuff packed, but I would like to have had more, but when they said the danger, I thought, we need to go.
So here's a look at the updated evacuation map. The town of Lisle remains under level 3 go now evacuation orders. The sheriff's office is telling people that live in that zone to get out and stay out until they say it's safe to return. We do have some good news to report in Central Oregon, where the Cram fire is now 73% contained and threats to structures have dropped significantly. It is still roughly 95,000 acres in size, but firefighters say they made major progress over the weekend thanks to cooler temperatures and calmer winds. This means some extra firefighting resources are able to go back home to their home districts. And evacuation levels have been lowered in parts of Jefferson, Wasco, and Crook counties. All right, let's take a break from some of these news headlines to check in with Chris McGinnis in the Weather Center. Chris, we are talking about still cooler conditions today compared to what we had just a few days ago.
And some rain. In some cases, some of those fire locations did pick up some measurable rain. And in fact, rain is ongoing right now in portions of the Columbia River Gorge in eastern Skamania, western Klickitat County, in the vicinity of the Burdoin fire right now. So that is at least a bit of good news. Right now, I don't have any reports on just how much rain they've seen. But as we look out wider, and unfortunately, we are getting some lightning strikes with some of the rain showers that have popped up earlier today across east central Oregon. We did get substantial rain out towards John Day, Burns, Baker City on the order of a half an inch of rain. And it's still raining right now across the portions of the Columbia Basin. This is a look over the last 3 hours. You can see some rain falling across Klickitat, Yakima County, eastern Skamania, and northern Wasco County. So areas of the state that absolutely need rain got some rain overnight and are still getting some rain. It's not enough, but any little bit helps. Meanwhile, here in Portland, of course, we picked up measurable rainfall as well. The breeze is picking up, and it kind of looks like a murky mess right now from the Dalles. Of course, the Dalles immediately downwind of the Burdoin fire right now. Wind gusts are now back up to near 30 miles an hour, 71 degrees and sunny, but there is certainly a wildfire haze in the air there. Meanwhile, here in Portland, we're up to 67 degrees now here at lunchtime. The rain has shut off. That is long gone. We picked up about, you know what, I'm going to run over right now and check. 42/100 of an inch of rain, more than or almost a half an inch of rain here at KGW since late last night. Our first rain in 3.5 weeks. There's no more rain in the forecast beyond today, but boy, that was good. Mid-70s should do it for highs today, 76 to 78 degrees or so. We dial up the heat a little bit tomorrow and Wednesday. More on that with my 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Drew?
All right, we'll see you then, Chris. In the meantime, back to some news headlines here this afternoon. Fire investigators think that arson may be to blame for 7 separate fires that all started Sunday morning in one northeast Portland neighborhood. KGW's Celine Stevens has more on this for us after speaking to neighbors and firefighters.
Paper, masking paper, so it's all gone. This is what's left of Gustavo Ramirez's trailer after waking up to someone knocking on his door, alerting him of the fire overnight.
He came out, grabbed my hose, and tried to put it out. My neighbor helped. A nice ladder I lost, good one. I was gonna take it out today, but I just didn't have the chance.
The front of his car and the tree in front of his home also getting singed. But this wasn't the only fire happening early Sunday morning.
Well, between 3:30 and 5 a.m., crews responded to multiple fires set in the area of Northeast 7th and Fremont. They were literally going from one fire to the next.
Portland Fire and Rescue responding to 7 fires total in the area, with tree stumps, a shed, and a dumpster in Irving Park all burned.
Yeah, no, it's sketchy. That was extremely alarming.
In the surrounding neighborhood, more property was torched along with the trailer, including a separate tent trailer, leading the fire to spread to this garage, and yet another garage was also the scene of a fire.
These intentionally set fires, they start small, but they get larger, and we need to make sure that we stop these at its infancy. People are in sleeping. They won't know that these things are happening until it's too late.
Seeing things burned up in the neighborhood is pretty unsettling.
As Portland fire crews continue their investigation, they're asking for help from the community.
If you have video footage or still pictures from your house of anybody in that time frame, we'd appreciate it.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
The person who shot and killed a man near North Portland Park over the weekend remains on the loose. So police say this happened around 11 o'clock yesterday morning near McCoy Park in the Portsmouth neighborhood. We spoke to a woman who didn't want to be identified, but she did tell us that she tried to help the man who was shot by performing CPR.
I ran across, saw the gentleman who had been injured, took off my robe, gave it to them to help apply pressure. We did CPR to try to help the gentleman.
Portland police told us one of their officers also tried to save the man's life, but he died at the scene. This was the 4th homicide in Portland in the span of 4 days. We're still waiting to learn the name of the man arrested in connection with the deadly stabbing in Southeast Portland on Saturday. Police say they found a woman that afternoon inside a home near Southeast Foster Road and 143rd Court. They also found 5 young children inside that home, but none of them were hurt. Police arrested the suspect a few hours later in Vancouver. It's still not clear what the connection may be between the suspect, the woman who was stabbed, and the 5 kids. Reservations are booked for the next couple of weekends at Higgins, just a few weeks after one of the longtime staples of downtown Portland's dining scene said it was on the brink of shutting down. For more on this local restaurant revival, here's KGW's Libby Dowsett.
Higgins has been around for 30 years, but the staff says downtown isn't what it used to be. So when word got out on social media that Higgins might close, things changed that night.
I got to just say, wow. I mean, we're absolutely overwhelmed by the response.
Higgins Restaurant in downtown Portland is back on track.
Getting close on buns, probably like 10 minutes or so.
Chef Greg Higgins and the crew are prepping for a full house.
We went from 0 to like 75 in one day.
Reservations poured in after Higgins posted this SOS on social media a week ago, saying due to the downturn in downtown, the restaurant may have to close. That night, the house was full.
It shows what can happen if we, all participate. Let it heat a little while, leave them here for a bit.
It was just confirmation that everybody in this town loves this restaurant, and it was very gratifying.
Patrick Strong, the chef de cuisine, has been at Higgins for more than 20 years and met his wife here.
There's not that many restaurants like this, and it's been a huge part of the Portland scene for so long in downtown, and I think if it went away, a lot of the identity of Portland would go with it.
How long your tart's been in?
The surge in customers has staff rushing to bring in more produce from farmers markets.
Good sized wagon load, probably a couple 100 pounds of produce.
Fish from the coast.
Those were in rigor mortis when they came in. That's how fresh they were.
And meat from ranchers.
We just bought the whole cow, and we just sold the whole cow.
Chef Higgins says it shows what can happen if everyone participates.
Every small business, whether it's a hat shop, John Helmer, or South Park, or Q, or Mother's Bistro, all these places. Everybody needs your help, and that's what this is all about, is kind of get the ball rolling. You don't want any lumps.
Since COVID, Higgins has been just getting by with the theater and museum crowd. But this summer's been rough. They're hoping more customers will choose to hang their coats and saunter up to the bar to keep this momentum going.
But if we're waiting somehow that downtown's magically going to get better, then we're fooling ourselves. Everyone needs to get engaged, and that's what Portland's really great at.
A table for two by the window is waiting. Now you want to make your reservation quickly because we checked online and the next 2 weekends are pretty booked. But the staff says if they can make it through September with a boost in customers, they could be okay. In downtown Portland, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Libby there in downtown Portland. Meanwhile, thousands of other people were also downtown yesterday for the city's annual Pride Parade. It was part of the Portland Pride Festival that took place both Saturday and Sunday. The parade started at Northwest Broadway in Davis and ended at Southwest Harvey Milk Street and Nadeau Parkway. If you want to check it out, the entire parade is available on our TV streaming app, KGW+.